I feel like a lot of times we are told to stay strong in the face of challenges. And one thing we have to realize is even warriors get wounded. We aren't completely impenetrable. We get hurt sometimes. We do. And we can't just ignore the fact that we got hurt. We can't just ignore it. When in reality, we have to treat it in order to become better, in order to overcome that. And I feel like a lot of times in today, we tend to brush off those feelings, brush off the pain or the hurt or the emotions that we may feel. And because it's told that we shouldn't, it's bad to feel that, it's bad to be angry, it's bad to be sad, and that just is holding us back from being truly strong. It's holding us back from being truly strong, when I believe like true strength is being able to express yourself in any emotion or being able to feel any emotion. Doesn't mean you have to act upon them. Doesn't mean you have to, act upon your anger, act upon your happiness. It's that you can feel it and you can express, I'm upset. However your personality decides that you express your feelings is how you express it. And I'm saying we should be able to be open enough just to say, or know within ourselves that I'm angry. I don't have to act upon it, but I know it's there. And we are told just to kind of hold back being angry is bad, all these sorts of things. And it really just pushes us back from our true selves. True selves meaning just us as we are, it's stripping away from all our labels as occupation, our financial status, and truly just looking at who we are and asking ourselves, how do I feel, how do I think, and things like that. Just truly getting to the deep dive of ourselves, because it also gets me thinking of, warriors. Warriors, they appear strong, but they can get hurt. And even so, there's two types of hurt, I believe, or I'm gonna take it to. Where one hurt is, repression. We get hurt and we hold ourselves back, we hide it, we cover up those parts of ourselves, and it creates a scar. Or, I was hearing this interesting thing or idea from, I believe he's a psychologist, Dr. Gabor Mate is his name, and it was like, there's two different ways of reacting to it. There's a scar, it's tough, there's no nerve cells or nerve endings, or however you phrased it, and it's tough, it's not very flexible, so it's like there's no feeling in it, and you're kind of numb to it. You're numb to that feeling, so you can't really express it. Or there's, someone taps it, and it's like you've been hurt all over again. And it gets me thinking of how do we heal, or how do we, repair. And it's like another thing you were saying, a tree doesn't grow where it's hard, and a tree doesn't grow where it's hard. It grows where it's soft and vulnerable, or it's soft and open, I guess you can say. There's a certain way you word it, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And it's like we have to be vulnerable enough to feel those feelings, contrary to popular belief that we have to put on a tough front. And it's like sometimes we are hurting, and we have to accept, we're humans at the end of the day. We feel things, we have emotions, we aren't robotic, we have feelings. And where was I gonna take that? There's that idea of being hurt, but then I'm also thinking of a warrior will go out and put themselves in circumstances where they are being hurt, or they have a chance to be hurt. And how I want to relate to that in our own day-to-day life is like we go out and we try new things, and try and become more than what we think of ourselves, or trying the craziest thing that we know we can achieve, and we get hurt in the process, and that hurt is just making us smarter in a sense. Okay, I don't want to do that again because I know the result that comes with it now, so let me do something to improve upon it so I don't face that same situation or same circumstance in which I got hurt. Not in a sense of avoidance, but in a sense of, okay, I already know what comes with that. It's just being aware of, now I guess not falling for the same trick twice. And I guess that's pertaining to goals or habits that we want to achieve. We have something we want to go for, so we can be direct and focus on it. We know what we want to go for, so we have a clear target to hit. So we know the steps it takes to achieve it, I guess you can say. Because a lot of times we don't have a lot of people, whether it be, well, me in the past too, I'm not free from it. Me in the past, I didn't know where I wanted to go, so I just did things, and it was like it didn't mean much. But once I started to talk to myself and understand myself, there was a vision for myself, knowing that there was more for me, and I knew I could be more. And I started to act in accordance to that, and it was really just opening myself up to new things and new challenges and new experiences, which you are also able to do too. It takes a certain level of maturity, whether it's having conversations with people about things that whether it's having conversations with people that may be difficult at first, but it really creates a sense of trust that you can tell each other anything, and they feel however they feel, they respond however they feel, but it had to be said. It had to be said. Whether the relationship breaks, it shows you how much they care for you, because if you're holding yourself back, and the one time you wanted to speak your mind, they ignored it, or they shut it down, it shows how much they cared for you. It's like they didn't care for how you truly felt, in a sense where it's like they just wanted you to be who you pretended you were. But if they truly cared for you, they'll be like, okay, I don't agree with it, but you said what you said. You said what you said. And I feel like that's one of the most mature conversations to be had on whatever it is. But I guess even for the self, it's like, how do you create your own, I guess we can say, character development. That's really all it is, character development. How do we develop ourselves? And why? Why do we do it? Why do we do it? What is the vision? What motivates me? What motivates you? You have to ask yourself that. For me personally, it's, there's several reasons depending on what we want to go. What is the reason I make these videos? I want to just speak my mind, and I enjoy talking about things like this. And if there's a way I can help someone, then by all means, I'm gonna do it. That's one of the greatest things for me, being able to help people. That is truly one of the things that motivates me. If we want to take it to hobbies, just seeing where my curiosity and what I can achieve, testing on my potential and creating that into achievements. So, it's creating yourself, creating your character development. in the funniest ways of putting it, that's really what it is. How do you want to create yourself? So, bringing it back, it's like when we're trying things, or we're trying to become one again, becoming one whole, we have to let those wounds heal. And there's certain exercises we can do, whether it's meditation, whether it's talking to someone, a professional or something, or asking yourself and seeing why you react the way you do, where it comes from. It's really just a level of learning or understanding yourself. And there's still a lot I have yet to figure out, so it's like I'm still in the process of figuring it out too. But I'm just here expressing my thoughts, and one thing I think helps me is speaking about my own thoughts and seeing where it takes me. That's, I feel like, where it leads me to. For some people it might be journaling, for some people it might be meditating, whether it be, you know, all of this, and there's so many different ways. But you know, in reaching for, not even reaching, in just our path of life, you know, we may get a few bumps and bruises, but that's expected in becoming. And also, I do recommend just watching some of the things. Especially, there was one with the podcaster Jay Shetty. It was so beautiful. It was Dr. Gabor Mate and him. Oh, it was like a 2-hour podcast, or 2 or 3, or somewhere around there. But the amount he was talking about, and you know, whether it was he spoke on trauma and things around that. But it was so deep and profound. It's like I've gone back and listened to it like 3 times just because it was that insightful, and I feel like every time I listen to it, it's something new that I pick up on. But there was one thing, I don't know if he said it in that one or a different interview, but he was talking about, you know, characteristics and adapting as we grow up, and it becomes maladaptive, you know, when a baby is crying, it just wants love, it wants to be comforted. But when it's ignored, it just shuts itself off. It gives up. It gives up because it can't feel that. And it becomes necessary for the time being, but then it becomes maladaptive in the future, in the sense that it feels like it can never feel loved, or it can never, you know, feel that, or it shuts itself off. And it creates a sense of insecurity, in a sense that, you know, I can't feel loved, or I am not enough, or why don't they love me? And it's a lot to it. It's a lot to it, and it's a lot to think about. It's heavy on the mind. I can't lie. It's heavy on the mind. But we have to confront it at some point of our life. And you know, whether it's now, it's better now than never. Better now than never. And don't regret things because you didn't realize before. Like, you just didn't know. You didn't know that you didn't know. And how could you have known if it was never just something that crossed your mind? Or because, you know, life is just moving. Life is moving. So it's hard to think about our own life and see things from, you know, different perspectives, or try and heal things when we have so much already on our plate. We got work, we got family, we got relationships, we got friendships, we got, you know, whether it's schoolwork or so many things to keep up on. It's like we had to create time for ourselves. Whatever form it might be, even multiple might be great. You know, multiple will be amazing. For me, I guess it's creating YouTube videos, just talking about things like this, or things that I find interesting. For other people, it's journaling. For other people, it's yoga, meditating, and there's even different kinds of things within those. There's different forms of yoga. There's different forms of meditation. So it's definitely something to look into. And there's so much to account for, whether it's mind and body, how it connects, you know, what we eat and how we sleep, how it affects our mind, and even just exercise. It makes our brain, you know, more efficient, or it makes it sharper. But I just want to leave it off there. You know, I feel as if, you know, over time there's gonna be things that change in the videos, or even just my own thoughts and viewpoints about life that will change as life happens, because I'll learn something new that changes my mind. And maybe I'll come back to the same topic and it's a whole different experience, as life should be. You know, we try and seek out the better version of something, better being just whatever you define it as. But I truly enjoyed that. I truly enjoyed just talking. Hopefully you did too. Just enjoyed hearing or listening to my thoughts. But other than that, much love. Love you all. See ya.